ladies and gentlemen. We're so excited. It's the first opening Big Bang call for the the Road to Bootcamp series of Blitz calls with our global IMDs. And I'm so happy, I'm so excited because we have none other than our top income earner, not only in our company, but around the world in the industry. He's super famous, super well known. He wrote a book called The Unemployed Millionaire many years ago, was interviewed by Fox News, CBC News, CBS News, ABC News, NBC News, all over the US as one of the youngest online network marketing as well as business owner millionaires, internet millionaires in the world, in the US. He's none other than my mentor, triple international marketing director, $1 million ring earner, super top leader in the industry, Matt Morris. Matt.
Hey, what's up, brother? I can hardly sit up straight. My head's getting so big, it's going to fall over. For me.
All right. I hope I did a good introduction.
I got to say, normally, a lot of times when I do these calls, if I'm doing it with a really great leader, I'll tell everyone, I'll say, man, you're so blessed to have this person as a leader as your upline. And, that's definitely true with your group. But in this case, it's a little different. As a company, an entire company, we're all amazingly blessed to have Dennis, because this, Blitz to Bootcamp is not just his team. He opens it up for the entire company. And so he's just a phenomenal leader, #1 income earner out of Asia. And so we're all super blessed to have Mr. Dennis Bay. So I appreciate the introduction, but thank you for doing these calls, because, these calls end up making us all a lot more money, because it gets, the fire started all around the world. So.
Yes, sir, Matt. Right. So we're super excited. But before you go on, right? Let me just let everyone know a little bit about your professional background. Okay. So everybody, if you didn't know, Matt actually has been in this industry. I think more than the last 20 years. Am I right? 20 plus years.
24.
Yeah? And 24 years. That's right. Right. And Matt actually owned his own network marketing company and was very successful at a very young age, okay? So today's call is Road to Boot Camp, okay? And we want to ask Matt, in his past 24 years of training hundreds of thousands, if not millions of network marketers out there, online, offline, big events, right? Small events. Matt owning his own company, Matt, from your point of view, why are boot camps, in fact, any company training events, especially Worldventures, so important and so beneficial to people like us, and why is it so important for us to definitely want to make it to all the boot camps wherever we can in and around the world, in order to go IMD in this business, Matt? All right, over to you, Matt.
For sure. In fact, I'm going to go back 24 years ago to talk about the importance. So when I got started in network marketing, I was 18 years old. I was in college. I was working minimum wage jobs, trying to, make it through school. I had never read a personal development book in my life. I had never heard the term personal development. And so when I signed up at Amway, they said, you got to go to this event. And it was on the other side of the country. And I said, oh, I can't afford to go. And my sponsor, being very wise, she said, you can't afford not to go. You have to be there. And I was just like, her level of certainty and conviction for me going to the event got me to go to the event. So I ended up going on this bus, right? And we took a bus, like basically 2 days across country. We was in like Raleigh, North Carolina. I live in Dallas, like a 22-hour drive, something like that. And I went to that event, and it opened my mind up to a level that it had never been opened before. And I'm not saying like I didn't make money in Amway, because I mean, it was just very tough, right? And I had a lot of growing that I needed to do. But what happened at that event, it opened up a whole new world. And it got me thinking about the possibilities of my life, and it got me believing in the possibilities in my life. And at the time, I never would have imagined I could become a #1 income earner in a company. I didn't imagine I could be a motivational speaker and speak to hundreds of thousands of people around the world. It didn't take me that far, but it gave me a dream of being able to have financial freedom. And I thought previously I was going to work in the corporate world. I thought I was going to do the 9-to-5 thing, work for 40 years, retire, live on half of what I could barely live on when I was working, you know. I thought that was my path, and it opened me up. And what happened is I was in Amway for about 2 years, and here's what I saw. You know, there's a reason why Amway is the biggest network marketing company in the world. Okay, say what you will about Amway. They're the biggest in the world. They have been for decades. I mean, probably 50 years, they've been the biggest network marketing company. And the one thing that they have been masterful at, it's the same thing we have been masterful at. In fact, we have surpassed their capacity to make an impact at events through our event system. I'll talk about that. But they built their empire because they had a core philosophy that said, if we build people here through personal development, we'll build a big business. And that was the impetus. That was the fuel that allowed them to pass every company, to remain on top. It was all personal development, and they just grew people. So when I saw, and that's why when I decided to start my own network marketing company, I made it a personal development company. Okay. It was, motivation, leadership, sales training, and all that. It was an online portal where you could learn. We ship products in the mail. That was my company. Now, what I realized owning that company was that personal development is not something that's appealing to the masses. If you go to most people and you say, hey, I've got a personal development product I want you to look at, or I want you to learn here, people say, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need that kind of stuff. And so I realized it wasn't the sexiest product. The magic in Worldventures is this. We've got travel as the sexiest product in the world. It's what everyone wants. It's an inherent yes. #1 dream in the world is to go see the world. And so when people get involved in Worldventures, it's like we're selling them what they want. But then the most important part about our success is we give them what they need. And what they need, what we all need, is the personal development education. We need to grow as a human being. And that's why I got so excited. It's why I joined Worldventures. I mean, #1, I love travel. So I was sold out. I had done travel and network marketing before, and I knew the magic behind it. And I knew Wayne Nugent, and I trusted him. He was my mentor. And so, if I'm going to sink my heart and soul into something, I want to make sure the owner has the same heart and soul as me as far as putting his energy into something. And I knew there was no question there. But what I got so excited about was Mark Aceta, our director of training, had put together this event system that was I had never seen a company put together a training system like this since Amway. And I don't want to compare us with Amway because there's so many differences, but if you look at our event culture, it's become a leadership development factory, okay? And the reason why we've been able to become by far the largest travel network marketing company in the world is because of our training system. We have people who come in at, different levels, right? And what happens in network marketing typically is someone comes in at a high level, maybe on a leadership scale, they come in at a 7 or an 8. And they're able to make good money because they're a 7 or they're an 8, because they can attract other 7s and 8s and 6s and so forth. Okay. But most people who join network marketing, if you want to know why a lot of network marketing companies don't work, and you see them, they're here today and gone tomorrow, it's because most people who come into network marketing companies don't have a lot of background in leadership and personal development. And so they come in, the average person will come in at a 3 or a 4 or a 5. And if there's no system to grow that 5 or that 4 to a 6 and an 8 and a 9 and a 10, they come in and then they leave. And so why we've been able to have so much sustainability and continue to grow is because we have people today who are IMDs, and when they came into the company, they were 2s and 3s, but our system grew them. And I don't mean to be insulting at all. I'm not saying, you know, if you're watching this right now, maybe you can relate to me. I mean, the reality is, if let's just be honest with ourselves. When I came into network marketing, I was a 2 or a 3. I was scared of people. I had never read a personal development book. I had never led anyone. I had never served in any kind of leadership capacity. And so I had growing that I needed to do. And it took me a long time because I was in Amway shortly, and I joined a handful of other companies that didn't have a training system. But I read a ton of books, and eventually I grew myself where I got to a 6, a 7, and an 8. I started making money. And here it was just that acceleration factor where we have our events that you've got Mark Aceta, who's our director of training, #1 network marketing trainer in the world. No one else is even close. I mean, by far the best. And he's ours. He only trains for us, and he trains the trainers. And so he's created this bench of trainers that is world class. I mean, you could take the speakers, the leaders in our company who train at the different boot camps around the world, and you could put them on stage and they would blow away most other trainers. I mean, they just had a generic network marketing event here in Dallas, and you put any of our knighted trainers and they're going to blow away any of the other trainers that were at this generic event. I mean, we just create the best of the best of the best. And so that's the importance of training, is just building people. And what happens is you learn the skills. So coming to boot camp, you're going to learn a lot of skills. You might learn inviting and presenting and some advanced techniques on closing and getting new members started. You're going to learn those things, but more important than anything else is the belief factor. It's coming into an event and seeing where we're headed, feeling where we're headed. See, there's 2 important dates in Worldventures. One is less meaningful than the other, really. The first one is when you got in Worldventures. So that's your first event. But when you got in Worldventures, that doesn't mean a lot until the second event happens. And the second experience is when Worldventures gets in you. And no one really goes IMD until Worldventures gets in you, gets in your heart, gets in your soul. When you start bleeding blue, that's when things happen. And if I look at the leaders, I study success. I've always been fascinated in understanding, why is it that some people reach the top and others don't? Well, I look at, what the leaders have done. And I ask leaders all the time. Every leader in Worldventures can point to an experience at one of our major events that caused them to flip the switch and go IMD. And, for me, it was United. I had joined Worldventures. Wayne signed me up, and I was a member. I had my own company, though, so I wasn't doing anything with it. But I was in Worldventures. I got the emails, and when I decided I wanted to join Worldventures, I was like, man, I know this is good because I know Wayne, and from a business case, from a business standpoint, I knew it was good. Even from an emotional standpoint, I knew it was going to be good. But Worldventures wasn't in me yet. And so I went to a United event, and this was years ago. There were 1,500 people at United, and I sat in the back. I sat in a little corner. There was no light. I still remember it was in a convention room, and there was no light above one section of seats. And I was like, that's where I'm sitting because I don't want anyone to see me there. So I went and I sat in the middle of the section where it was dark, and I watched for 2 days, and I saw the leaders get on stage. I saw the success stories. I saw the money. I saw the lifestyle. I heard from the executives. And at the end of that 2 days, Worldventures was in me so much, there was no doubt, 0 doubt I would be an IMD and beyond. Had absolutely no doubt, because Worldventures got in me at that event. Now, had I not gone to that event and I had just, gone out and said, all right, I'm just going to do it on my own, I would have nowhere near the amount of success. And I'll tell you, my whole formula in World Ventures has been real simple. It's this, it's get them in, get them to a training. Get them in, get them to a training. I promote the events like crazy. So you got to think, why is Dennis doing this Blitz to Bootcamp series? He's doing this because if you go to boot camp, you will make way more money. And if you make way more money, if you happen to be on his team, he'll make more money too. If you're on my team and you go, you'll make more money. And as you advance in leadership in World Ventures, what you'll understand is if you just promote the events. Now, we don't make any money when someone goes to the event. There's no commission paid out. But why do we promote it like crazy? I sell the events harder than I sell joining World Ventures, where I actually do make a commission. So I'm like, hey, you want to join? Yes or no? You got objections? I may answer your objections, but I'm not going to beg or plead anyone. I'm not going to pressure anyone to get in World Ventures. But if you've gotten in World Ventures, if you had enough desire to change your life to join our company, then I'm going to push you to go to the event where I don't make any money. I made money when you joined and I didn't push you, but I will push you to go to the event where I don't make money. Why? Because when you go, something happens. World Ventures gets in you, you get the skills and the knowledge and the belief, and you come out of the event ready to run through a brick wall to build the business. That's what I want to happen. So I'm doing it for your best interest. I'm doing it because I love you too much to let you not go. Because here's what I know. Going IMD is a big decision. Now, we've said over the years, IMD, it doesn't really stand for International Marketing Director. It really stands for I made a decision, okay? It takes a big decision to go IMD. And here's what I want you to never forget. In your career in World Ventures, over the next 30, 40 years, you'll be with us till you pass on, however many years you got. Big decisions are made at big events. Big decisions are made at big events. And so all the leaders who have made that big decision to go IMD, the impetus for that big decision happened at a big event. I could go leader after leader after leader. And it was like one of the characters at The View, or something that happened at Momentum, or something that happened at boot camp that lit their fire. Now, I was in the Marine Corps, so in the military, so I love Millionaire Boot Camp. I just love the theme of it, right? So, and here's the thing. I have been talking about the value of the events, but documentation beats conversation, okay? I can tell you all this is true, but I can back it up with numbers, because the numbers are, the company took people, thousands of people who joined the company in a 6-month period, did not go to a major training event, took thousands of people who joined over a 6-month period and went to one of our major events. Now, guess how much more money the people made over the next 6 months, the people who went to a training event? They made more than 10 times more money than the people who didn't go. So what that means is if you go to boot camp, statistically, it's proven you'll make 10 times more money than the people who don't. That means if you don't go, you'll make 10 times less than the people who do. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to make 10 times less or 10 times more? Obviously, we all want to make 10 times more. Now, boot camp happens one time a year. So if you go, you're a year ahead. If you don't go, you're a year behind. You want to be a year ahead or a year behind? Obviously, we want to be a year ahead. Another interesting statistic that we need to talk about more, it was put up on one of our major events. I think it was United a few years ago. And they showed if someone goes to one major event, they're 37 times more likely to hit senior rep. So if you go to an event, you're 37 times more likely to hit senior rep. If you don't go, you're 37 times less likely to hit senior rep. So we can say all day long, man, we got these amazing events, but we also have the statistics to back it up. So here's the whole philosophy. If you want to build an empire, if you want to build a dynasty with this company, you follow in the example of what the leaders like Dennis Bay have done. We get people in and we get people to the training, and we make it a huge priority to get people to the training because When they go, they're going to have way more success. So I'm just telling you, when you go to this event, you will have way more success than if you don't. Now, you may not have the money to go. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't have the money to go, the biggest reason why you need to go is because you don't have the money. See, there's a truth in life. If your problems are bigger than you, you will never be able to see your dreams and your goals because all you can see is the problem, okay? So my question to you is, are you willing to step up as a leader and be bigger than your problems? Because as long as you let your problems be bigger than you, that's all you see. You can't see anything other than your problems. You're never going to have financial freedom. There's got to become a point in your life where you say, enough is enough. I'm tired of living small. I'm going to live a big life, and I'm going to be bigger than my problems. I'll go back years and years ago, way before World Ventures. I was at a Tony Robbins event, and it was $10,000 to do his Master University. $10,000, and I didn't have $10,000. And I don't know, maybe Tony said this, I don't even remember, but I remember thinking, the biggest reason I need to go to this event is I need to become a person that's big enough that's not going to let $10,000 stop me. So I just committed to going. I went up and I was able to put a little bit on a credit card, and I was able to come up with the money over like a couple payments or whatever, right? So I came up with the money, but and it wasn't even like the Master University, 3 different events. Like one was good, the other 2 were okay. Like it was fine. The power wasn't really even in the events. The power was me, for once in my damn life, taking a stand for who I'm going to be and saying, I'm not going to let $10,000 stop me. I'm going to be bigger than my lack of $10,000. Now, our events are $200. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're crazy inexpensive. And the value, I mean, if we charge $2,000, $3,000, I would promote the events as hard as I'm promoting them right now because it would be worth it. But the fact that they're a couple $100, yeah, you got to do airfare in some cases. You're going to have to pay for a hotel. You may end up spending $1,000 or $2,000 to get to the event. Let's say you spend $1,000 to get to the event. It's worth it. If you're going to let $1,000 be bigger than you, it always will be. It always will be. So there's got to become a point in your life. I hope it's right now. I hope right now you decide that you're not going to let a lack of time or a lack of money hold you back from the success that you deserve. I know you deserve it because I've seen, I don't care what your story is, I don't care what's holding you back, someone else with the same story, the same objection, the same problems, the same challenges, the same excuses, they had the same or bigger excuses than you. They got to the event and they've had crazy success in World Ventures. So that's why I know you deserve it, because there's other people with bigger problems that have made it. So you deserve it too. So invest in yourself, get to the event, do whatever it takes, be bigger than your challenges, and have the same attitude. Take a stand, not only for yourself, take a stand for the success of the people in your organization. So I've said this to so many people in my group when they've given me their objection, which means they're not big enough as a person, okay? They're smaller than their problems. See, I look at people and I think you're bigger than your problems, but they think they're smaller than their problems, okay? So sometimes you got to believe in other people more than they believe in themselves. So when I'm looking at someone who's holding on to their excuses for why they can't go to this event that can change their life, I love them too much to let them hold on to those excuses. And that's why I'll have direct conversations like this. It's why if you feel like I'm pushing you, I'm pushing you because I believe in you more than you probably believe in yourself, because over the last 24 years, and certainly the last 10 years in World Ventures, I've seen people who you never would have thought would make it go all the way to the top. And I know you can too. You just don't know it yet. But when you get to this event, That's where you get to know how powerful of a person you really are, because you'll see other people who've overcome so much adversity, so many challenges, and today they're a leader in our company. Today they're financially free. So I love you too much to let you hold on to your excuses. I love you too much to let you miss this event. And that's the attitude. If you want to go IMD, if you want to be a top earner, start loving people. I love you, which is why I push you. I love you, which is why I'm not letting you hold on to your excuses. So start loving people. Okay? I'm not saying like be pushy for your best interest. Be pushy for their best interest. So some of you are like, man, this guy is like relentless. How much more money do you think you would be if you were this relentless? I'm not even talking about joining Worldventures. I'm talking about getting to this event, because it will change you. Why do I know that? Because it's changed so many other people. So we got the whole series coming up. I mean, we've got Dublin coming up this next weekend in June 7th. We've got Cape Town and South Africa coming up June 21st. We've got Kuala Lumpur in Asia coming up June 28th. We've got Australia coming up July 5th. And then we've got finally Boot Camp Dallas and Frisco, Texas coming up July 19th. So mark your calendar and freaking be there. Just be there. Step up, get to the event, and get your team to the event. Take a stand for your team and get them to that event, because they deserve it.
Wow, 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 guys, right? If that wasn't a call to action, I don't know what is, okay? Coming from the master mentor himself, all right, my mentor, Matt Morris, okay? Matt, I know you need to rush off for your daughter's event coming up. You know, that's the beauty of this business. You know, we get to spend time with our kids, right?
It is. It's amazing. You know, most people, you know, it's like they got to be at work. And so,
exactly.
You know,
and it's like in
freedom.
morning right now in Dallas, right? Morning. Yeah.
Yeah, the lifestyle freedom that this allows is just flat out amazing. And it's another reason why I love this. I love this, and I love seeing other people get to the point where they can hang out with their kids during the day. And it's a great life, being able to serve people and, you know, allow them to step into their power and live that kind of lifestyle. So,
okay. So Matt, just one closing statement, okay? Because we have a shout out to a lot of the old guard, okay, who have been with us for a couple of years, who went through, you know, ups and downs with us, especially, you know, last year until this year. Why should these existing reps, right, who have been to our past events, why should they still make it a point to get to the boot camp coming up in our region, right? Why is it so important, especially now, especially at this moment?
Yeah, specifically at this event. I mean, we just rolled out our double speed promotion where cycles, instead of needing 6 left and 6 right, turn a cycle, it's 3 left and 3 right, a $50 cycle instead of 100. 60% more people will earn cycles. 60% more people will earn weekly cycles now. And so what we know historically is when we get a lot more people paid, it creates a lot more belief and motivation, which creates a lot more activity, and everyone makes more money. Okay. So that promotion is in place. Okay. The 3 left and 3 right, the double speed. We've got the new Platinum X product. It's going to be a ultra VIP. So Platinum would be VIP. Our Dream Trip X, whatever it will be called, that is the ultra VIP. We're talking like yachts and jets and things like that. So you definitely want to be there to learn about that product. If you're a Platinum member, you'll have a discount. You'll be able to upgrade at a discount. So it would be good for you to be a Platinum going into that event. And then something I'm as excited about as I've ever been is the matching bonus that's being put in place on your personally sponsored reps. And so imagine sponsoring a Dennis Bay. Imagine sponsoring a Peter Powderham. Imagine sponsoring a Johnny Wimbrey, a Stavros Uninos. I mean, imagine personally sponsoring Sachin Govender, what do you think?
Ooh.
Your matching bonus check alone could be enough to live on. I mean, we are about to change the game. This is when we roll out these announcements, and you'll learn a lot more about this at all of the boot camps. It's actually, the matching bonus will hit at boot camp in Dallas, but it's a watershed moment for our company. There's, every few years, a major upgrade to our company happens. And, in the last 10 years I've been here, every few years, some major thing happens that takes us to another level. And that's exactly what this is doing for our company. And so it's about to get ridiculous. So I'm just super fired up and driving the train like crazy because I know what's about to happen. I mean, history repeats itself, and based on the fundamentals of what we're doing here, getting a lot more people paid, being able to earn money on your strong leg and your weak leg based on, earning matching bonuses, whether, you personally sponsor someone on your, one of your teams and they blow it out and that becomes your strong leg, man, you want it to just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger because you're earning a matching bonus on that side. You're making money. So you got an incentive to go in and help that team and work with that team. We've never had that before. So the dynamics of that are a game changer for us. And there's even more coming after that we can't even talk about, that I know about. And so it's getting better and better and better. And so it is prime time in our company right now. And, some people are going to take advantage of it and some are not. I mean, our company's had lots of, we've had ups and downs. We had challenges, I guess it's a year and a half ago. We had some challenges, and I just chose last year. I chose at the beginning of the year, I said, man, I'm going to put the afterburners on. I'm going to let people whine and complain and lick their wounds, and I'm going to run hard. So I ran hard. I flew to 27 different countries, and by, let's see, it was either October, I think it was November, I had the biggest check I had ever had in my entire 10 years in World Ventures. Why did I hit my biggest check ever when many people, a lot of the leaders had their lowest checks ever? Mine were the biggest ever. Why? Because I just drove hard, because I believe in World Ventures. And the reality is whoever works the hardest is going to make the most money. And you want to take advantage of the increases in our company, take advantage of the new announcements and the product enhancements. Our product keeps getting better and better and better. And so, you drive the train, you promote hard, you make more money. If you don't, you don't. And so it's a choice that we all have to make. And what I'd say is, if you've been around and if you feel like you're at a plateau, my question to you is, do you have one more good run left in you? Okay, if you got one more good run left in you, let's roll. Let's run. I mean, I've got a bunch of good runs left in me. So that's why I'm running hard. And, we look at what happened a year and a half ago when a company had challenges. What I know is true is that no great sailor ever became a great sailor by sailing in calm waters. They learned to be great when times were rough, and it's like, oh man, this is how you really learn how to do things. And so I love over the last, year, however long it's been fairly, calm waters. And so because I ran hard when there was a storm, now that the waters are calm, I'm making money as much as I ever have. Things are better than ever. And so the work you do now pays you about 90 days later. It takes a little bit of time for that to kick in. And so I'm telling you, if there's ever a time to run, if there was ever a time to go, now's the time. Because when all this hits, when the matching bonus hits, you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait to get started when the matching bonus hits. You want to have a bunch of new personals making money so that when the matching bonus happens, immediately your check goes way up. So I'm excited about everyone's check going way up.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay, so I'm also working like crazy, running like crazy. Just personally sponsored a good leader, I think about 3 weeks ago. She qualified 3-star, brought in like, is bringing in like almost 50 people now. So going on senior rep, man.
Oh, see, that's how you make it happen. That's how you make it happen. There's a reason why Dennis is the Asian tsunami.
Yeah, so all guns blazing. I'm catching up, Matt. Asia is catching up.
That's it, brother. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on. I got a jet for now because I got to get to the school.
All right, man. Thank you very much. So everybody give your loves, hugs, kisses, flowers, whatever it is, to Matt Morris, okay?
All right.
And,
Take care, everyone.
yes, and we look forward to having more speakers like Matt on our Blitz to Bootcamp calls coming to you all the way these 2 weeks before bootcamp happens all over the world. All right. So thank you very much, Matt. Have a great day. Thanks, care.
Dennis. Take care. Good night, everyone.
All right. All right.
Depending on where you are.
Okay. All right. See you guys on the next call, Blitz to Bootcamp. Thank you very much.